Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking through how I achieve this vintage soft wave. I'm often all about the big styles. I will wear a lot of extensions to achieve massive big over the top vintage styles, but I like this one. It's more subtle, it's a lot more daytime, so I hope you guys like it. I put a picture of it up on Instagram the other day and everyone seemed to really love it and said it was a nice change from my bigger styles. So I hope you guys find this tutorial helpful and let me know. Okay, so first things first, I use some grooming spray by Suavecita, and this is really good for just making your hair prepared to take a curl. It's not a thermal spray, it just kind of, my hair gets quite frizzy, so I like to spray it in before I start, and it gives it that nice smoothness, a nice shine. So I'm just going to brush that through. And once that's kind of dried, I don't overload that. I then take some thermal spray. I just use this. It's a nice basic thermal spray, quite cheap. And I'll spray that mainly onto the ends because I don't want to get my hair too wet through, but it's important to protect from heat when doing these sorts of styles. So I'll just brush that through. So with a lot of my hairstyles I use hair extensions. That's because my hair is naturally this long, and it's, you know, from all the colouring it's not in great condition and it's taken forever to grow. So I find that to be able to create the styles that I do, I'm going to have to help myself and grab extensions. And I love extensions. You can do so many things with them. I like this style because, you know, it doesn't require me to put in my full headset and it's fairly easy to do. I've literally only done it like a few times though. It's not something I've really practiced because it's quite easy like that. So I have got two extensions in the front, and that is because I have a short fringe. So the wave that I want to get here, it wouldn't be, you know, I wouldn't be able to achieve it without having these two strips. So I just want to apologise because there is some workmen outside doing some drilling or something, and that's getting really annoying. So the noise in the background, I am very sorry. So yeah, let's get on to the actual styling. First you're going to want a curling iron. Now I recommend getting a thin one like this. I think this is a 1.5mm. This is really thin, but the thinner it is, the tighter the curl. So you're going to get a really nice S-wave. So you are going to want to have at hand some duckbill clips and some pintail clips. I'm trying to find one to show you. One of these guys. The little ones to hold all your curls in place. I also use bobby pins as well if I don't have enough at hand. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to take a small section. I'm not really strict with the sections I take, but you'll see the general shape of what I do. So I'm going to take this section, probably one a little smaller actually, so you can see there where I've clipped in an extension, and that will all be covered. You know, I'd never let them show or anything, but it's something that I'm not going to be able to avoid. And I'm just going to pick up. I'll probably wait about 5 seconds and then pull the curl off and pin it straight to my head. Keeps it in place, and I'm just going to keep doing that all the way down this section. What I will say is just make sure that you get the ends tucked in, because, you know, if you don't get your ends completely in the curling iron, they will kind of be flat and the finished style won't look very finished, I guess. Okay, so once you've got this section of like your fringe section all pin curled all nicely in a row, don't be bothered about it being too neat, it's fine. I then take the next section of hair, so that's a strip across, so I just take here. I don't start at the top, I tend to just start probably one lower than the very top one, if that makes any sense. So take this section here, which is next to this second one, so as you can see I take the one, don't start from here but I start from the next one down. So I take smallish sections, you know, if you're going to take big sections with this small curler line, it's not going to be such an intense ringlet, which is what you're after. You want to look like Shirley Temple when you're done. So I'm going to take it again and just pin curl. Okay, and then you're going to keep working your way down, just down this strip of hair. Okay, so when you've done the next section across, it'll look a little like this, you know, don't worry about it being too messy. And basically we're going to do the same again, so the next across, and I will keep it in line with this one. So again I will start by this, take a section that is in the same lane as your second front curl. Okay, so once you've come to, well, I tend to start when I reach, you know, the middle of the back of my head because it's harder to reach. So I've done it all in rows, as you can see. I'm not really bothered about the neatness of it. It's all about how you brush it out at the end. I then start at the other side of my head, so I will take small sections again and just curl them exactly the same as you have been doing. Okay, and you will repeat the same process, starting with in line with this very top one, and you do the same process until all your hair is curled. Okay, so my whole head is now pin curled. So now we just wait for them to cool down and then we can brush it out. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, so I'm going to slowly start taking everything out. So I always start from this side, the side where my part is, not my fringe. So just be very careful taking these out. Careful not to pull, because that will ruin the curl, and you want to keep them nice and springy. Okay, so I take them all out apart from the front section, just the front row, and I will brush my hands through and just break them apart and make sure that they're going to be easily brushed through. And then I start brushing. So I use a, I think it's called a backcombing brush. Sorry about the hair in there, that's gross. And they're just really good at brushing out without taking the curl out, so I highly recommend this. This is from Denman. So I start brushing, and I start brushing around the palm of my hand like that, so it kind of moulds into the curl shape, as you can see. And don't be afraid to really pull. Sorry, I live right by a hospital, so that's going to happen often. Don't be afraid to really pull at the curl, because if you've curled it well enough, it's not going to drop out. Well, depending on your hair type as well. That's why I recommend to not do it on freshly washed hair because it'll be silky and soft. So you just keep brushing through. And what I do is I back comb a little underneath the ends, gives it just that bit more volume. Okay, so once you've been brushing a while, your hair should be forming into nice curls like this. I mean, this side looks quite like a page boy, which is cool, and I'm happy with that. And this side has got a wave going on, and you just have to keep going until you feel happy with what you have. I mean, I've put a clip here just to keep it in place. Like I say, I find back combing underneath the waves helps give them definition. You can then start on the fringe. I'm usually all about the bigger styles, but posted this yesterday and everyone really loved it, so yeah, I thought I'd do this hairstyle on a whim, just to show you how I did it. And I mean, it's not the simplest style in the world, but it's also not the most complicated. So I like to back comb this area a little bit, just to give it a bit more hold. And then I will start brushing out the curl. I will hold it, start brushing it out. And you just have to have patience, really. I think patience is key. Whenever you like a wave, quickly grab one of your duckbill clips and secure it, and give it a little spray. Okay, so I've been brushing a while now, so you can see that it's starting to look okay. Don't forget to be spraying as you go along to make sure that you're really holding those curls. And I think that is about it. That's where I choose to leave it. I mean, if you want to continue brushing, make sure everything's great. And sure, I mean, you do what you feel you have to do to make it perfect. But with this style, I see it more as a thing you could do the night before and brush out easily in the morning before you go to work. And there you have it, something a little bit different from me, but I'm really liking how this feels and how I don't have to have extensions in all the time to have nice vintage hair despite having quite short hair. So thank you for watching. I hope you found it helpful, and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.